What if I told you that somewhere in a dusty hospital in Italy, a dying man's last words were whispered in Tagalog? Not because he was Filipino, but because his nurse was. Then the freezing silence of a war zone, 7,500 Filipino soldiers bled for a country that barely knew their names. Have you ever stepped into a coffee shop in Dubai and seen your mother's hands serving you a cup because the barista smiles just like her? Filipinos aren't just scattered across the globe. We are the quiet heartbeat of entire nations. From the skyscrapers of Manhattan to the rice fields of Japan, we've built bridges, healed wounds, and raised generations. And yet, the world barely knows. Which country do you think carries the most of us? Drop your guess below, because today we're pulling back the curtain on 10 shocking places where Filipinos aren't just surviving. They're rewriting history. And number 1? It'll leave you speechless. Imagine this. You're standing in a packed ER in Los Angeles. A Filipino nurse named Maritz holds the hand of a frightened old man. She whispers gently, "It's okay, Lolo. I'm here." Except, he's not her Lolo. He's a complete stranger. But Maritz, like millions of Filipinos, carries family in her blood, even across oceans. Welcome to what many jokingly call the 13th region of the Philippines, the United States. Over 4.5 million Filipinos live here, making us the largest Asian American group in the country. That's right, from sunny California to snowy New York, you'll find Kababayans everywhere, blending in yet standing out. Here's a mind-blowing fact. 1 in 4 foreign-born nurses in the U.S. is Filipino. Since the 1970s, America has been importing Filipino healthcare workers like a national treasure. And when COVID-19 hit, it was our Kababayans who stood bravely on the front lines, saving lives while risking their own. But we're not just in hospitals. We're coding in Silicon Valley, teaching in Texas, running small businesses in Chicago, and yes, even shaping American politics. Fun fact? Reynaldo G. Fernandez helped launch NASA's legendary Mission Control. How's that for Filipino pride? And the cultural footprint? Oh, it's loud and proud. Adobo joints in Seattle, karaoke bars in Brooklyn, Filipino grocery stores packed with bagoong and pancit. We've taken the American dream and sprinkled it with extra rice. Smash that like button if you've ever been surprised hearing Tagalog in the most unexpected places. But here's the big tease. If you think the U.S. is the only place where Filipinos are rewriting the script, you're in for a shock. Stay with me, because the next country on this list will blow your mind. Hint, 7,500 Filipinos once fought in its war. Don't go anywhere. I promise you'll be stunned. From the desert sands to dreams fulfilled, the Filipino journey in Saudi Arabia. In the heart of Riyadh, under the blazing sun, a young Filipino engineer named Armin oversees the construction of a towering skyscraper. Each beam he secures, each blueprint he perfects, isn't just for the building. It's for his family back home in Cebu, for his children's education, and for the dream of a better life. Welcome to Saudi Arabia, home to approximately 725,000 Filipinos. We're not just visitors here, we're integral to the nation's heartbeat. From the oil-rich fields of Dhahran to the bustling streets of Jeddah, Filipinos are the unsung heroes behind many of the kingdom's advancements. In 2023 alone, over 380,000 Filipinos found employment in Saudi Arabia, more than doubling the previous year's figures. This surge is part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, aiming to diversify its economy and infrastructure. The kingdom has expressed plans to hire 1 million skilled Filipino workers over the next 2 years, spanning sectors like construction, healthcare, and information technology. Our influence isn't limited to labor. Events like the Riyadh season have spotlighted Filipino culture, featuring our traditional dances, cuisine, and crafts. It's a testament to our growing cultural footprint and the mutual respect between our nations. Tribune. While opportunities abound, challenges persist. Adapting to a different culture, climate, and work environment isn't easy. Yet, stories like Armin's, who, despite initial hardships, now leads a team of engineers, highlight the resilience and determination of the Filipino spirit. Have you, or someone you know, worked in Saudi Arabia? What experiences shaped your journey? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's celebrate our shared narratives and support one another. Stick around, because you won't want to miss the next chapter in this global Filipino journey. From breaking down to breaking through. The Filipino Odyssey in the UAE. Armin stands beneath the towering lights of Dubai, eyes locked on the shimmering skyline. His phone vibrates, a message from his mother back home in Cavite. Son, are you still okay? You haven't come home yet. What she doesn't see, Armin hasn't had a real meal in days, sleeping in a cramped bed space shared with 5 strangers, saving every dirham just to wire money home. He's one of 700,000 Filipinos here in the UAE, making up nearly 7% of the population, working in hospitals, caring for families, constructing the next Burj Khalifa, or flying planes across the desert sky. But let's not sugarcoat it. Behind the shimmering malls and Instagram-perfect posts, the struggle runs deep. The emotional toll, the homesickness, the sheer grind, it's enough to break anyone. But then, Armin claws his way up. He starts as a hotel bellboy, picks up English at night, learns Arabic phrases on the job. Within 5 years, he's a guest relations manager. He joins the 63% of Filipinos in the UAE who saw salary increases, who fought their way into a better life. In one unforgettable moment, he buys his parents their first plane tickets to Dubai. Imagine the tears when they stand together before the Burj Khalifa, realizing Armin didn't just survive the Gulf, he conquered it. Here's the gut punch. Many Cababayans still face contract exploitation, loneliness, and intense pressure. But why do they push through? Because back home, a family is counting on them. This isn't just about chasing money. It's about proving your worth, reclaiming dignity, and rising above every obstacle. Hey, quick check. Are you subscribed? If not, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss the next part of this incredible journey. Because up next is a place where Filipino sacrifice is etched into the history books. You won't believe what's coming next. Stay right here. From freezing streets to flaming dreams, the Filipino rise in Canada. Close your eyes. It's a bitter February morning in Winnipeg, negative 30 degrees, snow crunching under heavy boots. And there's Joanna, a Filipina nurse, trudging to the hospital at 5 a.m., breath fogging up her mask. She whispers to herself, "Para sa pamilya, para sa pangarap," for family, for dreams. She left Iloilo 4 years ago, chasing a better life in Canada. It wasn't easy, the loneliness, the culture shock, the freezing cold that makes your bones ache. But here's the truth. Filipinos in Canada don't back down. Let's drop some real facts. Back in 2016, over 837,000 Filipinos called Canada home. And today, that number has grown even more. We've become one of the fastest growing immigrant groups in the country. So much so that Canada declared June as Filipino Heritage Month. What started as waves of caregivers, nurses, and teachers has evolved. Today, you'll find Filipino lab technicians, engineers, professors, and thriving business owners. We've pushed beyond survival. We're shaping the Canadian landscape. Winnipeg? Locals joke it's basically Tagalog town now, where you'll find lechon on the table, karaoke echoing through houses, and full-on Filipino fiestas lighting up the streets. And yes, you can even get Halo Halo in Halifax and Adobo in Alberta. But here's the heart punch. Joanna's sacrifice pays off when she buys her parents' first ever winter jackets and flies them over for Christmas. Picture their faces stepping into a snowy Canadian wonderland for the first time, seeing the life their daughter built from scratch. Because up ahead, we're diving into a country where Filipinos aren't just part of the workforce. They've made their mark on the battlefield. Trust me, you'll want to hear this story. Stick around. Filipinos in Malaysia, the quiet builders of a nation. Imagine walking through the lush hills of Sabah, Malaysia, where the air is thick with the scent of tropical trees and the sound of fishermen casting their nets. There on the shores, you find Juan, a man in his 50s who, over 3 decades ago, left his small village in the Philippines seeking a better life. He remembers the days of hardship, the long hours working as a fisherman under the harsh sun. But now, Juan's story is one of survival, resilience, and success. He has built a life in Malaysia, sending money home to his family in the Philippines, investing in a small farm, and teaching his kids the value of hard work. His children are now growing up in a land far from their roots, but they speak Tausug and Shavacano, the very dialects their father learned in his homeland. The facts. In Malaysia, about 325,000 Filipinos call this place home, many of them settled in Sabah, one of the most Filipino-dense areas in the country. These Filipinos didn't just come for a paycheck. They came for safety, opportunity, and the promise of a better future. Over time, they've become essential contributors to the local economy, from fishermen to farmers to resort staff and even drivers. In fact, Filipinos in Malaysia have such a deep connection to the country that their dialects like Tausug and Shavacano are spoken in cities all over Malaysia. Our cultural imprint is undeniable. But here's where it hits home. Juan's daughter, Marikar, who grew up speaking both Tagalog and Malay, is now a successful hotel manager in Kuala Lumpur. Her story? One of relentless determination, grounded in the very values her father taught her. It's a testament to what Filipinos bring to the table. Hard work, loyalty, and a hunger for success. Don't go anywhere, because the next story is even bigger, about a place where Filipinos are shaping an entire economy. You'll be blown away. Trust me, stick around. From domestic helpers to CEOs, Filipinos in Singapore. Picture this. You step off the plane in Singapore, the skyline a breathtaking sea of high-rises, and you're greeted by a friendly face with an unmistakable Filipino accent. That's right. Filipinos are not just here in Singapore. We're thriving and taking over. Remember Maya? She came to Singapore 10 years ago with a suitcase full of dreams and a heart brimming with hope. At first, she was just like everyone else, working as a domestic helper. The hours were long, the pay wasn't much, and the homesick nights felt endless. But then something clicked. Maya wasn't just going to survive in Singapore. She was going to level up. Today, Maya is the senior IT consultant at one of Singapore's top banks, and she's been featured in a local magazine as a role model for success. She still remembers the early days, though, back when she used to send half her salary home to support her family. Now, she's the one sending her family care packages full of designer bags, while she's sipping coffee at Orchard Road with colleagues who speak 5 languages. The stats. In 2013, Filipinos made up 203,000 of Singapore's population, and we're still growing. We started as the backbone of households, but now we're all over the city-state, filling IT firms, hospitals, banks, and even theaters. There's no industry we haven't touched. And those MRT lines you ride to work? Yep, Filipino engineers built them. And for those who love good coffee, don't forget the Filipino baristas at Orchard Road, serving your favorite brew with a side of charm and a sprinkle of Pinoy pride. But it's not just the jobs we've taken. Our presence is woven into the fabric of Singaporean life. From the local satire shows featuring Filipino characters to the growing presence of Pinoy-owned businesses, we've become part of the very culture here. We didn't just come here to work. We came here to build a life, to grow, and to thrive. So here's the catch. Don't even think about leaving. The next country we're diving into is one where Filipinos are so integrated that you might even find a Filipino minister in their government. It's a game changer, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Filipinos in Japan. More than just sushi and karaoke. Imagine this. You're walking through the neon-lit streets of Shinjuku in Tokyo, the buzz of life around you, and then, boom, a Filipino face at the counter of your favorite cafe, greeting you with a smile that's all too familiar. Yep, Filipinos have fully integrated into Japan, and we're not just there to visit. We're a permanent part of the landscape. Marissa is a perfect example. She arrived in Japan 12 years ago with nothing but a dream and a suitcase full of hope. At first, she worked as a caregiver for the elderly, helping Japan's aging population. Long hours, tough work, but she kept pushing. Now, Marissa is a senior nurse at a top Tokyo clinic, mentoring the next generation of healthcare workers. Her story is one of struggle, sacrifice, and ultimate redemption. From dealing with homesickness to navigating the fast-paced culture of Japan, she's a testament to the power of perseverance. The numbers don't lie. Japan's Filipino population is over 341,000 strong, and we're the fourth largest foreign group in the country. Filipinos have played a huge role in shaping Japan's modern landscape. From nurses caring for the elderly to engineers who helped rebuild Japan after World War II, we've left an indelible mark on this nation. And it's not just healthcare and engineering. We're behind the counter in your favorite Shinjuku cafe, in Tokyo's bustling clinics, and yes, singing karaoke in the streets. Paroles, those iconic Filipino lanterns, light up the Japanese sky during the holiday season, blending our culture with theirs in a unique fusion. Filipino-Japanese culture? It's truly something special. Hold tight, because the next country we're exploring is where Filipinos are making waves in a country with an economy that's outpacing even some of the world's giants. You won't believe what's happening there. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. Filipinos in the UK. More than just the NHS. All right, picture this. You're walking through a busy hospital in London. Patients everywhere, doctors zooming by. But there's one group that's holding it all together. Filipinos. We make up 7.7% of all NHS nurses in England. That's 1 in 13 nurses. If you've ever been treated in the UK, chances are a Filipino was there taking care of you. But here's the thing, it's not just the NHS. We've got a presence everywhere. From retail to hospitality, we're spreading our influence across the UK. And heck, we're even marrying into Royal Navy families. No joke, Filipinos are everywhere in the UK. Take Jonah, for example. She moved to the UK back in 2014. She was fresh off the plane, ready to start her journey. She worked her way up from being a care assistant in a small hospital in Birmingham to managing a team of nurses in one of the busiest London hospitals. Jonah didn't just change her life. She's helping change lives all around her. From a tiny flat in East London to managing patient care, her journey is a perfect example of grit, hard work, and dedication. The facts. Right now, there are over 200,000 Filipinos in the UK, and it's no surprise. We're literally keeping the NHS running. But it's more than that. Filipinos are shaping British culture, from London parades to Filipino tea parties. We've built a community here, and you'll find our presence in almost every corner of the UK. We brought our traditions with us, loud, proud, and always ready to share. From our food to our fiestas, we're making the UK feel like home. But here's the kicker. Filipino businesses are popping up everywhere, from restaurants to markets, and even Filipino Christmas parades are becoming a thing. We're not just working here, we're building here, and we're leaving our mark, one lechon at a time. The fusion of British and Filipino cultures isn't just happening, it's thriving. The UK might have started with its tea and crumpets, but now, it's got a little more Filipino spice in the mix. But hold up, don't go anywhere just yet. Next up, we're heading to a place where Filipinos are not just surviving, but transforming the nation. You won't believe what's coming next. Trust me, you want to stick around for this one. Stay tuned. Say you're at a classic Aussie barbecue, the sun's setting, and everyone's chilling with their drinks. But wait, what's that sound? Is that karaoke? Oh yeah, you already know. It's a Filipino-powered singing showdown happening right there. Whether it's My Way or the latest hit, we're the life of the party down here in Australia. But let me tell you, there's so much more to our story than just karaoke and BBQs. Right now, nearly 300,000 Filipinos are making waves in Australia. And let me tell you, we're one of the fastest growing immigrant groups in the country. Why? Because Aussie hospitals can't run without us. That's right. About 6% of registered nurses in Australia are Filipino. We're the backbone of the healthcare system. Whether the nursing home in Sydney or an emergency room in Melbourne, we're showing up, saving lives, and doing it with that signature Pinoy smile. Hold up a sec. If you're watching and enjoying this, we've noticed something. More of you are watching, but not yet subscribed. Come on and join the community. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the conversation rolling. Thank you. All right. Let's get back to it. Take Carla, for example. She's been in Sydney for 8 years. She came here looking for a fresh start, leaving behind her family back in the Philippines. Fast forward to today, and she's a head nurse at one of the busiest hospitals in the city. Her story isn't just about success, it's about sacrifice and hard work. Carla sent money home for years, and now she's living her dream. But it's not just Carla. Filipinos all over Australia are building their futures while helping to build the nation. But here's the kicker. Filipinos aren't just rocking it in healthcare. We're business owners, chefs, teachers, and even sports champions. From cooking up adobo in Sydney's best Filipino restaurants to coaching rugby teams in Brisbane, we're making an impact everywhere. We're taking that Filipino work ethic, throwing in a dash of creativity, and building careers that inspire. And don't even get me started on those Aussie BBQs. When there's karaoke, you know Pinoy pride is in full swing, and the fun doesn't stop. We brought that flavor and that passion to Australia, and let's just say the whole country's better for it. Now, hold up. Don't go anywhere just yet, because we're about to take you somewhere where Filipinos have been quietly but powerfully shaping a nation for generations. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for the next country. Stay tuned. All right, let's talk about South Korea. Now, I know what you're thinking. 60,000 Filipinos? That's a drop in the ocean compared to some of the other countries on this list. But let me tell you, history doesn't forget. And trust me, this history has a big impact. Picture this. The Korean War, a brutal battle. And guess who stepped up? 7,500 Filipino soldiers, braving the cold and fighting alongside the South Koreans. Imagine that. Filipino warriors on the front lines, fighting for freedom. But wait, it doesn't end there. After the war, Filipino engineers came in, helping rebuild the country, even reconstructing the Korea Ministry of Culture. Talk about a Filipino touch in history. Huh? Fast forward to today, and we've got Filipino teachers, baristas, tour guides, and caregivers in places like Jeju and Busan, shaping daily life. You walk into a cafe in Seoul. Who's handing your coffee? A Filipino barista with a smile so bright, you'll forget how much you paid for that overpriced iced latte. Oh, and let's not forget, K-pop adjacent entertainment? You bet there's a Filipino presence there too. From backstage crew to dancers, we're in on the action, baby. Let's talk about Mia, a teacher in Jeju, who moved to Korea 10 years ago. She came for a teaching job, but soon she found herself not only educating kids, but also introducing her students to the wonders of Filipino culture. They learned about Filipino fiestas and even tasted adobo for the first time. Her students mind blown. Mia, proud. She didn't just teach English, she built connections that'll last a lifetime. Here's where it gets interesting. Despite the small numbers, Filipinos have left a massive mark in South Korea. It's not just about the work we do, it's about the legacy we leave behind. But hey, don't close that tab yet. Stick around. Up next, we're heading to a country where Filipinos are not just making waves, they're shaping the future. Trust me, you're about to witness something unbelievable. Keep watching. You're in for a ride you'll never forget.